just getting so gorgeous. It's a good boy. So, okay. Don't get on my tripod. No. Good job. So today was roughly 14 months since I lost my left kidney. And it was lost to chromophobe renal cell carcinoma. Completely lost the whole kidney because of the location and of the tumor, and his concern that he would not be able to stop my kidney from leaking urine. So anyhow, yeah, I can see myself, and of course that's driving me nuts. But anyway, we went to Little Rock today to UAMS, and I got Osher April the 15th. He was about 10 weeks old. He will be 5 months July the 1st, tomorrow. And I was taking him for a big procedural day. And he's never, I was trying to think, I don't even think, I think he went to the doctor with me right after I got him for a post-surgery checkup, I think. But he's really not seen the doctors with me or gone through procedures with me or anything of that nature. So I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous because, he is just 5 months. And even though he has done public access work almost from the day I got him, he's still 5 months. And, the long sitting, you're getting on the tripod. No, he's playing down here and he didn't realize he's getting on it. But anyhow, I didn't know what to expect. I had called ahead of time. My trainer, Mary, told me to call ahead of time and let them know that I was bringing a service dog, and to find out if during the procedure, if I needed some assistance with him, if that could be provided. So I called and they said yes. So the very first procedure that was lined up this morning was a CT scan. And I was really, really impressed with how well he did. On the way down, he acted kind of frantic. We were in somebody else's vehicle, somebody he'd never met before. I have to have a shout out to Latonia Hester. She's in our Training Your Own Full Potential Service Dog group. And she's the one who took me today. Anyhow, she, he'd never met her. He had never been in her vehicle, so I'm sure that was a little nerve-wracking. And I ended up pulling him out of the back area and setting him in my lap. And that's the way we went into town. So anyhow, we get there, and they have me to drink this horrible iodine stuff. And, he's generally good. He's doing really, really good. He's laying at my feet. He's not doing anything anybody could have complained about at all. And so, anyhow, we got up to go back to where the procedure was at. And at first they were putting an IV in me. And the lady that was working with me, she was talking about how somebody had come in and claimed that they had had a service dog. And she said it was a large breed. She couldn't remember what breed it was. She said this dog was acting awful. And she looked over and she goes, "This dog is acting perfect. And you said he was 5 months old?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, he'll be 5 months old tomorrow." She goes, "Well, I'm just impressed." Well, when they took me back to actually do the CT scan, as we were walking up to the threshold of the door, he immediately, I mean, you could feel his whole body, I'm not doing this. And, you know, because it's noisy in that area. And so, he wanted to be with me, but he didn't want to be with me because I was up on that thing that was sliding me around, and he wanted no part of that, but he didn't want me up there either. And so they called the lady that did the IV, and she came in, and he allowed her to take his leash, and he went to her, and he whined a little bit, but he did really good under the circumstances of that was his first time doing a procedure. He had not been exposed to anything like that. So I was quite impressed. And the people that were there were talking about how impressive he was being. So I really was proud of him. So we leave there and we go for my chest x-ray. Excuse me. And he wasn't as bothered by it, but he was a little bit. But I was able to hang on to his leash through the whole thing. Yes, he got exposed to radiation. And that really bothered me. But at the same time, I needed my dog with me. Because they weren't going to allow my friend to go in with me. I was in there by myself. And if you've ever dealt with cancer or anything like that, this is not a time to be by yourself. So anyhow, and working with Osher helped distract me a little bit. And I can say that Mary was in contact with me via Facebook Messenger pretty much all day. And he's playing with here, let me see it for a second. He's playing with a cow hoof. Okay, and he has thrown it and everything else. So that's what you're hearing. But anyhow, Mary was contacting me quite frequently throughout the day. And I didn't think about until later when she said something. She was a little bit concerned of how things were going to go with Osher. But she knew last night that I needed him to be able to go with me. Or not last night, yesterday. Osher. No. Alright, go back over there. Thank you. Good boy. Okay, now sit down. Sit down and wait a minute. Good boy. So anyhow, see, his sit down doesn't last very long. And that was a concern of mine. Hey, Osher. Osher. Focus. Focus. Good job. Sit. Good boy. Stay. So anyhow, when during the chest x-ray, of course he's got to get up underneath my feet. But during the chest x-ray, you know, he did really good. During the blood draw that I had to have, he did really good through that. He did good up in the doctor's examining room. I'm doing this video because if you had told me 6 months ago that I could get a dog at 10 weeks of age and he would be capable of doing what Osher did today at the age of 5 months, I would have been shocked. Because when I was preparing to be a service dog handler, Osher quit. The leg doesn't need your help. When I was looking at being a service dog handler, everything I read, everything I looked at said, that my dog had to be trained for 2 years, and that it was going to cost me $20,000 to $30,000 to be able to have this dog trained to help me. And I was just, to be honest with you, I reached a point where I was like, there's no way it's going to happen. I might as well give that ideal up. It's not going to happen. And then I stumbled upon training your own full potential service dog with Facebook, on Facebook. And I began to investigate it. And I'm telling you, the more I am with this group, the more I am in the school, the more I learn, the more I see the results in Osher. I'm blown away. I'm blown away because I know my father set this up. I'm blown away because I know my father handpicked my trainer for me. I'm blown away because I know that my dog was handpicked for me by my father through prayer. And you may go, well, there's a lot of praying things there, and you just got lucky. If that's what you want to say, that I got lucky, then feel free to do so. But I know better. I know better. I know where my gift came from, and my gift came from my father. And I answered a lot of questions about the organization, the school. I answered a lot of questions about those things today because I've got walking, living proof that it works. I have a dog that impressed people versus a dog that was supposedly a service dog, much larger, much older, and could not behave himself well enough to be considered as under control by the handler, and could not be seen as a service dog. The lady that did my IV, she goes, that was not a service dog. She goes, and I knew it. He was not acting like a service dog. So one of the things I want you to know is, as of right now, I am cancer free. Of course, I've got 4 years now of testing and whatnot to be considered as completely cancer free. But I don't know if you can see it on my face or not. I'm relieved. Very relieved. And I thought about waiting till tomorrow to do the video, and everything in me, do it now, because it's fresh, it's vibrant in my heart. One of the prayers that I've been living at my daughter's house for going on nearly 3 years. And when I fell and broke my leg and my health went into a total spiral, I've been here with her. And one of my prayers is that I would have a service dog, and he would be trained well enough that I felt comfortable living on my own. I'm 55 years old, turned 55 the 29th yesterday, and have never lived on my own before in my life. So facing that alone was really, really a struggle. And I said to somebody the other day, look at how this has worked with me getting Osher. I got him during the middle of the COVID-19. I had only my own personal judgment really to rely on of some videos. I did ask Mary to look at them, and she agreed with me. He seemed to be the right one out of the ones I was picking from. Very, very drawn to him from the minute I saw him. And he will be about 6 months old when I move. But today today. Today showed me that when I move out, I will have a dog that will be trained well enough to help me not feel so alone. And he knows how to do deep pressure therapy. He's sitting over here now doing some things because I'm crying. He when he sat on my feet today, because a lot of people talk about they have their dogs to do deep pressure therapy out in public, and they've talked about getting in the floor and all this stuff. I can't do that. Number one, my body won't allow me to do that anymore, and number two, I don't want that much attention drawn to me. So what I did is when we're at home, he does deep pressure therapy on my chest. But when we're out in public, I have him to sit on my feet. And he sat on my feet quite a bit today. But he also did something that we've really not worked with that much yet. I would tell him to tuck. I could put a picture up today, and it really doesn't show a tuck like everybody thinks about it, because a tuck is usually they're under something. They're tucking in out of the way. And this dog was doing that today. He was getting under my feet, or under my legs, not under my feet. He was crawling between me and the chair, between my legs, and I was so impressed with him. But I know now I can move out, and I will have a service dog who can help provide me what I need to live on my own, with complex PTSD, with COPD, with diastolic heart failure, with other things that I have going on. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that there's no cancer. And I'm grateful that I have a service dog. He's still in training, but he's a service dog. He's tasking. He's 5 months old, and he's tasking, and he's doing PA, and he is blowing my mind. So I had to brag. I have to brag about Leela Sullivan creating Training Your Full Potential Service Dog. I have to brag about your service dog school. I have to brag about Mary Wash, my trainer, who is training me to be a trainer for Osher. I am thrilled that my father put all this in place. And I was so exhausted when they told me today I didn't have cancer. I couldn't hardly thank him or praise him. I've had a nap. And I can say now, thank you, Father, for all that you've done. And I had to share. So, good night. And he is getting wound up because I'm doing all of this. He doesn't, one thing I can say for Osher, he doesn't like for me to cry. You can tell it bothers him. And we're working on ways to where he can feel good, to help me feel good. So anyhow, ciao.